Alright, so in my other video I talked about when the bracelet talked about making this. Then I realized that maybe not everybody knows how to make that. So I will say, I said the way you package it, well, actually the way I thought it was like this, which is still right, I guess. It's just 6 of these layered on top of each other. But I think I looked into it. I didn't look into it, but I thought about it again, and I thought at least the way that it would fit best in here would actually be this. But either way, I'll show you, and I'll start from a clump. So basically, you just, this is 216 magnets, by the way. I mean, honestly, if you can, you would store it in just one really long strand. It's perfectly straight, but that's not really realistic. It's just the reason you do that instead of like a cube or whatever is because of the way it cancels out. You don't need to pull a full strand. I actually pulled a lot more than I usually do. So you need to start making a loop of like 6, like that, and then you're just gonna go around like that until you have like a second layer, and you're gonna go around again until you have a third layer, and you're gonna detach it. That's 36. The first inside layer is 6, second layer is 12, third layer is 18. Alright, and then you're just going to do that 6 times, and that should use all your magnets. It's also a good way to make sure that you have all your magnets. Oops. So I'm just going to do that. Oops, I went too much. I forgot. I don't have the right number of magnets. So there. Just gonna pull out some more. See, okay, so you need to make sure that inside one starts at 6. The numbers scheme is very important. But yeah, the reason, if I didn't already say it, the reason 6 is because of the way the magnetic cancellation works out. That way it doesn't really weaken the magnets almost at all. Like when it's in that shape pattern thing. Then the hexagon type deal, where it like, I keep saying interlaced, but it's like, it's sort of interlaced, it's sort of not interlaced. It's like, it's just that like the magnets, instead of being layered, here, let me show you in just a sec. Instead of, if you see there where those two connect, there's like all that space and it's like squares, but like on the actual thing or whatever, it's like they fill in more of the gaps, and it's like hexagon type stuff inside. So that works better for the magnetic cancellation. So I'm just gonna continue making these. That worked. Like perfectly. It's also a good way to count out like 36 or 18 or something like that. You know, if you do like different numbers of layers. Alright, then what you're going to do is you're going to connect these to the side like I did before. Like that. Now you want to make sure that you don't do that where they like interlace or whatever. Interlace. And if they do connect like that, on the sides, then you're just gonna take one off. You can use your card if you want to. I'm not going to. And then you're just gonna take it off, flip one over, and then connect. And obviously make sure those 4 line up. I'm just gonna put them together like that. You're gonna do that 3 times. So there, yeah, it's backwards. I'm just gonna flip it over like that. Layer it together. And they're fairly easy. Man, they all, yeah, that one did it too. So I had to flip that one over like that. Do that. So now you have 3 of these 2-layer ones. So you have these, and then you just need to put them together like that, kind of the way I showed you earlier, where they had like the little square things. So you're going to take 2 sets of those 2s or whatever, and put them together like that, so they don't interlace. So just like that. And then you're going to take the 3rd one, and you're going to want to put it right there. But the thing is, I suggest starting on the outside and then rolling it in, because what might happen is, if you pay attention, if you might have seen it, when I put this one on, it's like interlacing. There's this one on, it's like interlacing right here while it's not there. And it could have happened on the first one. I mean, I could have put this one on first, and that could have happened. So if that happens, you gotta take it, and then you gotta pull it apart. You can use your card if you want, and then you're just gonna flip it around and connect it the other way. Just like flip it over itself. So I'm going to do it with my hands. If these were the magnets, it would go like that kind of thing, and then it will no longer do the interlacing, and it'll connect properly. Flipping it over won't do anything if it's an even number of layers. So you're going to do that, and so then if you know all of them will go together, then you can just put this one straight in like that. But if you're not sure or whatever, you can put it on the outside and just roll it in. And you can roll all of these around each other all over the place. You can even do it while it's interlaced, or whatever you want to call it. And so I suggest this way, just like this. And then you're going to have your case or whatever, your bag. Not everybody uses the card in the bag. I do. I put my card in, and then I put this in there. And then it looks nice and good. It won't tighten very much. It won't stay tightened if you do try to tighten it. And just like to demonstrate, I used to do this type of deal, and I would put it in, and that just looks really weird. And even if I take out the card, oh yeah, and the card would get bent and it'd get out of place and stuff. If I didn't, then it just looks like it's a little pouch of nothing. It doesn't look all nice and neat. So I mean, if that's the way you want it to look, I mean, you know, feel free. I also feel like this falls apart more easily. It's still pretty strong, but it's like, well, sort of. But I just feel like, I don't know why, but I just feel like this is, I mean, you can still, you know, do that, but it's like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit sturdier. Maybe not, I'm not sure. And even if you just put this in there by itself, and it, you know, it still looks pretty good. And it came like this. It comes like this. And this still works too, but I don't think that one, I didn't like that one as much. Especially with my card in there. Because it's like, do this, it's just like, I mean, I guess it's really the same thing, but it just doesn't feel as sturdy, and there's a lot of like open space there and stuff, and it does like mess up the card just a little bit. I don't know, I just felt this way was best because it's like forced to take up, it's like wider sort of, but only like it's like more forced to take up all, like a, you know, wider space or whatever. I just think it looks better like that. So there you go.